Yo, what's happening? It's Benjamin D'Souza here, back with another classic. And today, I want to talk about the top 5 problems with the Black Manosphere. And I'm going to name names. Caveat though, I'm not coming for brothers, I'm not taking shots at brothers when I do name names. I'm simply using an experience that I had with this particular brother as an example to make each point. If I have, if I have a name for each point, but anyway. And these aren't in particular order or whatever. It's just a short list that I comprise that I see that is the problem with the Black Manosphere. And one of the reasons mainly why I kind of fell back from the panel shit, I was on a panel, well, wasn't on a panel. I hopped on a stream and I was in a chat box last night and I seen the brother Guy King. And the brother Guy King was around 2016 and he just fell away and stopped making content and stopped hopping on panels and shit. And at the time he did it, he had some harsh critiques about the Black Manosphere, and I didn't see it at the time. I didn't see it, but I kind of get it now. Like I understand. Now I'm not gonna take a break. Like I'm not gonna fall back to the extent that he fell back. Like I'm still gonna make my content. You feel me? And I'm still gonna hop on panels from time to time. I'm gonna be more strategic on whose panel I hop on. You feel me? But I see why he fell back though. All right, number one, trolling, and I spoke about this in my last video that I put up. Trolling, that is a huge problem in the Black Manosphere. Just the other night, I wasn't on, but I clicked on a stream by, ironically enough, Grandmaster Troll, GMT. Shout out to him. I don't want that motherfucker on my line. You know what I'm saying? But he was doing a stream, kind of exposing Kevin Samuels, right? And you had some brothers hop up. They really didn't really add to the conversation and shit, but they hopped up and just whatever said, did they little 1-2. But then Taz hopped up. Now I have my issues with Taz. I've made my fucking video critiquing Taz, especially when he first came into the Manosphere, because he rubbed, not only did he rub me the wrong way, but he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And I believe the video I made about him was titled B1 Knuckle Draggers or Off-Brand B1 or something. If you type in my name in Knuckle Draggers, it'll pop up and shit. So, but I'm not a brother who holds grudges like that. Like, it's strictly business as far as I'm concerned. So I'll at least hear what the brother has to say. And I did want to hear what he had to say. But the issue arose is when he got on, other panelists just began to dogpile this nigga. And I've experienced this myself. Well, these panelists started dogpiling him about some shit that had nothing to do with the topic at hand. They're there to talk about Kevin Samuels and, their critiques or their views on Kevin Samuels. And then you got other panelists bombarding Taz with shit like, oh, nigga, I heard you lost a debate to Cynthia G. You can't speak for black men. You just need to. I'm like, bruh, nigga, shut up. Shut up. Let that man speak, bruh. God damn. It's that troll shit right there. It's that dog. And it was not just one panelist. It was like 2 or 3 panelists doing this shit. And it just dissolved the entire panel into a hodgepodge of fuckery. And I was, it just wrecked the whole panel at that point. And it wasn't something that Taz did. Taz didn't wreck the fucking panel. Now, granted, when they started hurling insults his way, he didn't make it any better. You know what I'm saying? he poured accelerant on that shit. You know what I mean? So he didn't make it any better, but it just makes a panel just go to shit like that. You feel me? And I've been a part of shit shows myself. You know? I've been on the fucking receiving end of shit like that. And that goes to point number 2. The gotcha. Gotcha. This isn't just a Black Manosphere thing. This is a black thing. This is a black thing. Niggas love playing gotcha. It's a rapper from my hometown named Rich the Factor. He said, haters never give you props on the good shit. They too busy pointing out all the bad shit. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. Niggas can never move forward because they too fucking busy playing gotcha. You hop on a panel and you're talking about X, Y, and Z, and then here you go. Here comes a fucking Negro hopping on a panel, and now he want to play gotcha on Elemental P. It's like, nigga, we not talking about Elemental P. We talking about X, Y, Z. What the fuck is you even talking about, bruh? We talking about X, Y, Z, and here you go trying to play gotcha with me on Elemental P. It's fucking ridiculous, bruh. And that shit that's just a convo killer itself, you know? Cause what was that? It was a while ago. I believe I was on one of O'Shea's panels, and this shit dragged on for months. And I spoke about what I was willing to do for my daughter. And everybody knows I was truck driving at the time. I was willing to put my baby mother up, pay for her room, pay the bills, to make sure that my daughter had a roof over her head to my specification and to my liking. And this is on top of the fact that she had a second child by another man. So yes, I was willing to house another man's child for the sake of making sure my child had an sufficient roof over her head. And I caught flack for that. I caught niggas from, this is, like I said, this isn't personal. This isn't a personal attack. I'm just using these as an example on how niggas like to play gotcha. Now, I'm not saying that, Mr. Fantastic was playing gotcha, because I think I was on Mr. Fantastic's panel when I first said that, come to think of it. And, Mr. Fantastic was against it. Brothers can disagree. If you disagree with, something that I expound, that, that's cool. Good brothers can disagree. And brothers came down on me and had disagreements with me when I first brought the shit out. That's fine. Okay. That's the topic that we're talking about. You disagree with my point, my sentiments and whatnot. That's cool. The problem arose is when I hopped on other panels and then we started talking about other shit, and niggas would, this nigga, what's his name? Ty City. One time we hop on a panel, we're talking about this, and then this nigga playing gotcha. Like I said, we talking about X, Y, and Z, and here he go, oh nigga, you fucking paying for your baby mama. I'm like, bruh, first of all, I was going to. It was a thought. I was saying I was going to do that. I'm not doing that, first of all. Second of all, that's not even the fucking topic. So what are you doing? You know, and gotcha is a form of trolling itself. But, you know, just to go back to trolling, gotcha is a form of trolling itself. You know, trolling can also be just getting on a panel and just not being austere at all, just being a fucking class clown to the umpteenth degree. You know, that's another form of trolling, but gotcha in particular, because black folks love to play gotcha, and that's a big problem. Big problem. Okay, number 3, clout chasing. Clout chasing. And like I said, this isn't just a black manosphere problem. This is a black people problem, because offline in the real world, folks done died over chasing clout. Hold on, excuse me. Excuse me. People have died over chasing clout, you know? So just to give you an example, once again, this isn't, you know, nothing personal, just using this brother and my interaction with him as an example to make this point. I hopped on this panel one time. I can't remember whose panel. You know, I think it might have been DJ Kuda's third shift panel. And this brother, AJ Seeing Red. Now this nigga don't know me from a can of paint. This nigga don't know me. I ain't never had any run-ins, good or bad, with this motherfucker. But we get on the panel and automatically he just start getting funky with me. You know, and I didn't engage him in the funk like that. I kind of just fell back a little bit and just kind of played him off. And I believe somebody else asked him, like, damn, man, you know, what problem you got with Benjamin? And he was like, man, I just don't like that nigga, man. Yeah. Now, at the time, I was somewhat of a quasi-polarizing figure within the black manosphere. I was known for hopping on panels and getting into witty, heated repartees with a number of motherfuckers, exchanging insults and roasts and whatnot, and, you know, coming up with one-liners and shit. So, you know, I had a little bit of clout. Even though I wasn't chasing clout, I was just, you know, getting on panels, doing my 1-2, you know, making my content, doing my 1-2, just doing me. You feel me? But he figured that now I'm on a panel with him. It's the third shift, so, you know, we gonna act a fool on the third shift. I got a few drinks in me, so here's my time to, you know, to get my clout up by getting into a fucking exchange with this nigga. So let me go ahead and, you know, I'm like, bro, this shit is wrestling, man. This shit is wrestling. This shit is WWE, man. Like, you niggas is fool as hell, man. You niggas fake as hell, man. You know? With that cloud chasing shit, man. You know, back home, when a nigga trying to stun on you, or, you know, trying to get some clout off of you and shit, or trying to, you know, come into your purview and do something to incite some sort of negative emotion out of you, we call that shit being boosie. Like, nigga, you being boosie, man. That shit boosie as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a problem in the black manosphere. It's this clout chasing shit. You hear me? Number 4. And this is something that is that has arisen as of late, and that is the idolization of content creators. Now, even though I do have my issues with him, that being Taz, he was right when he spoke about YouTube daddies. I do have to concede he was right. Even though it was a blanket statement, he was trying to put that jacket on everybody in the Black Manosphere. It is applicable to a sizable portion of people in the Black Manosphere, whether they be content creators, chat box niggas, commenters, whatever, panelists, whatever. It is applicable to a sizable portion of the Black Manosphere. Yes, niggas are out here looking for their YouTube daddy. They are putting these content creators on a pedestal and idolizing them as gods. And you see that recently with Kevin Samuels, you know? You see, just like that panel I was on, whose panel was that? GMT's, Grandmaster Troll's panel the other night when GMT was, quote unquote, exposing Kevin Samuels. You got a lot of brothers hopping on there, and their screen name was the Kevin Samuels Defense Force. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna defend a man? That's who you are. Your name at the bottom left corner of your avatar screen in StreamYards is Kevin Samuels Defense Force. That's how you want to identify yourself. Like, that's supposed to represent you. Shout out to Chronicles of Judah 144. He says my channel is a pro-truth channel, end quote. And that is how I want to take my approach as far as my content and my panel participation. I will never change my name as such and such Defense Force. No, because I'm representing me. I'm coming forth and I'm representing me, and I'm representing the truth. Now, if it's truth in what people are saying about somebody, then okay, that's the truth. That's what I represent. But if it's not true, then, I can't rock with it. You feel me? I just say let the truth shine through. The good, the bad, or the ugly. You feel me? I myself, I don't go around exposing people. That's not my wheelhouse. That's not who I am. You'll never hear me making an expose piece on a particular content creator or a panelist and whatnot, because that's just not me. That's just not me. Now, if there is a content creator who is plagiarizing my material and my talking points and not giving me credit for it, then yes, I may feel the need to expose that, because that is truth. And I know it's truth because I know this nigga is biting my shit. You know what I mean? So that's different. But too many brothers in this space idolize these content creators. You feel me? And I believe that type of idolization bleeds over into the real world as well. A lot of people say, man, this is cyberspace. This is just social media. This isn't real. Nah, this shit is very real. This shit is very real. I forgot what it's called, but I think it's a psychology term where, it's like three aspects of someone's personality. There's the personality that you put on display when you're at work and shit. And then there's a The second personality is the personality that you display when you're at home. And then there's a third personality that nobody knows about, that it's a complete secret. You know what I'm saying? Like number two, number one is for the public. Number two is for your close friends and family. And number three is just for you that nobody fucking knows about. This shit, in particular, the Black Manosphere, is a peek into a lot of people's third aspect of their personality. That's just my opinion. A lot of shit that people would not divulge in public or even to close friends and family. A lot of things that people would just keep secret. They come on here and divulge that, you know. So this is a powerful learning tool for brothers to really take note and really get the pulse of what's going on in a lot of people's heads today. You know, you feel me? And number five, a lot of these Negroes in the Black Manosphere are not solution oriented. They're not. That goes for males and females. A lot of the females just want to get into the circular gender war talk. They just want to go in circles with the gender war. For instance, I was watching a Mr. Palmer stream the other day, and this particular sister, I forgot her name. I think it's like Neek or something, you know, Neek or whatever the fuck. She hopped on. She completely had no evidence, no hard statistics to back up any of her talking points. All of her shit was anecdotal or anecdotal. All of her shit was anecdotal. And just a crock of shit. And all she wanted to do was, when Mr. Palmer hit her with some hard evidence, all she wanted to do was just deflect and go in fucking circles. Well, where are the black men gonna take responsibility? Mr. Palmer come with another fact, hit her over the head. Boom. Well, what are the black men gonna do to take responsibility? You should do. It's the same fucking tropes. And that's just females who do that shit in this space. But males do that shit too. A non-solution based mindset that is pervasive through this space is a problem, and it's one of my problems that I have with the Black Manosphere, you know. Now, this particular sister, in quote, that was on Mr. Palmer's panel the other day, I wanted to hop on and give her some brief and concise solutions to the questions that she was asking. I couldn't because, I don't know, StreamYards was fucking up. I couldn't get on and do my 1-2. I hopped on there. Mr. Palmer let me up twice. It kicked me twice. So I said, all right, man. All right, then I'll holler. You feel me? So I think I'll go ahead and do that here. She kept raising the point, well, what are black men gonna do? What are black men gonna do to take responsibility for what they've done? What are black men gonna do to fix the community? Etc. The same, you know, canned Cynthia G talking points. You beta male coons ain't building, you know, that shit. Okay, here it is. We're gonna take a 3-pronged approach. Number one, we're gonna utilize soft power, i.e. social and financial capital, to reward and punish peoples within our group, i.e., we're going to use money, power, and influence to reward men and women who conduct themselves in a favorable manner that is helpful to the group. And we're going to use that same money, power, and influence to punish men and women who conduct themselves in a destructive, deleterious manner. That's number one. Number two, we're going to use hard power to enforce the edicts that we as men set forth and to punish those who infract on those edicts. And as a method of protection against the simp enforcement. Number three, we're going to use exclusivity to maintain the ecosystem that we construct. So that means, sisters, if you got a head full of weave, you're going to be excluded. If you listen to City Girls and Meg Thee Stallion and carrying on with all this hot girl summer shit and twerking and carrying on and gallivanting about, you're going to be excluded. If you hop on social media expounding a whole bunch of misandric feminist shit, you're gonna be excluded. If you're on YouTube talking about beta male kings and hurling all these insults at the brothers, you're gonna be excluded. And if the men, don't live up to the standard, if they don't produce, they'll be excluded as well. Those are our solutions. I'm not going to go into the minutia of those, three pillars of how we're going to move going forward, but you can deduce, you can pick up what I'm putting down. But yeah, those are my top 5 problems with the Black Manosphere. Let me know what you think and get up on that